Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be attempting this Monster Hunter this time. So far the syncing issue does seem to have fixed itself, so hopefully I'll be able to edit this just right, and that looks fucking delicious. I fucking love the Grand Meowster as well, she is the best. Yes please. There we go, and that's my hunter. I don't even remember what I was thinking when I designed her, but it is what it is. I'm going to be just messing around with the Xeno'Jiiva hunt, which is, low high rank. I've beaten all of Iceborne, so I've got Charish, Valdo, Bow, and Velkhana set up. So let me just show you my equipment real quick. So this is what I'm rocking right now. So I've got the Rhyme Guard set with Velkhana Divinity 4, which builds up Frostcraft, and this is just a critical draw spamming Dragon Piercer and Divine Blessing, and then some bonus things. I don't have enough gems to really get critical exploiting, critical boost up, but it's serviceable. Anyway, today, aside from messing around in this, which I'm really excited to finally be recording, hopefully it'll actually work out. I wanted to have a moment to really kind of acknowledge that while it sounds like I know what I'm doing and I'm progressing very well, there are some things that I am severely struggling with, and it's tough for me to really accept that. To kind of explain what I'm going through, yes, I am very aware of the difficulties I experience and the differences between like my normal experiences and this may be too loud to be talking over, I just realized. God, I love the Xeno'Jiiva sounds. Can't wait for Xeno'Jiiva. Anyway, while I may sound like I'm very aware of all the differences between my perception of reality and others, there are some issues that I do still encounter that kind of shake things up for me. In particular, it's difficult for me to really acknowledge that my perception of reality isn't no, that's not what I'm trying to say. My perception of reality, I can accept that it's different. What I have trouble accepting is that I have different recharge times and requirements, basically. I didn't really think out how I wanted to say this. I apologize. I'm trying to think what would be the best way. Also trying not to get lasered while finding a good positioning. So, there we go, that was a good shot. And you always want to sheath after that because that reactivates the critical draw. With critical draw, I'm guaranteed 100% affinity when I shoot, so every single shot will be a crit, and it's delicious. Anyway, so, man, I had a good thought of how I wanted to word this yesterday, and it just is completely out of my head right now. There are times when my mind just kind of feels like it's swimming through like really heavy water trying to make sense of something. And it's just difficult to process things. And that typically is a sign that I've been overwhelmed or that something in my schedule has changed. And realistically, the only way I have found to kind of adjust from that and get over that is to basically like take a nap and just completely reset myself. And I feel like that is a major difference from other people, and it doesn't feel good to me because I haven't really acknowledged that that is, my reality necessarily, that I absolutely need to do that. And Oh shit. That was close. But that's the good thing about having master rank gear is that even Xeno'Jiiva's laser is like nothing. I could have dodged through that and I just poorly timed it. Oh well. I'll just throw this on for the hell of it. What was I trying to say? Well, trying to get a laser in the face, apparently. I was trying to say that it's, despite me being very aware of things, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am comfortable with them yet. It's still a very dramatic shift in my life, acknowledging that I am autistic and that things are different for me. Oh good, I got that off. And I'm trying really hard to work with it and to make changes in my life and accept that there are things I need to do in order to function better. Because I would argue that as a high-functioning autistic or, you know, Asperger's individual, Aspie, that I function reasonably well, but that doesn't mean that I function completely as a normal person. And I know normal is subjective, so don't give me that bullshit and all that fun stuff. But the point being that there are things I need to do to manage my own senses in order to, that was a good one, in order to continue to function on a day-to-day basis and to not, you know, just kind of like mentally collapse and fall into a depression or lose sight of things and stop taking care of myself. And I don't think most people experience that. And if they do, it probably isn't as extreme or lasts nearly as long. An example of this would be this week in particular. Like I could tell you exactly what happened this week, but I kind of want to do a metaphor or something that's probably a little bit more relatable to other people. Imagine you have a very stereotypical like product line job, or I think a good example would be I used to help out with a newspaper route. So on Sundays I would go to a supermarket where they would drop off newspapers. We would set up a line of different sections of the newspaper and we would just insert them down the line, and at the end you have a fully assembled newspaper because they do come in individual stacks with each section and you just kind of assemble them on your own. So imagine you do that 9 to 5 every day. Nothing ever changes, it's very predictable, you know exactly what your job is going to be and you're comfortable with that. It's very easy, you can kind of mentally tune out and relax when you come into work. You know, it's very relaxing, it can be boring, but for someone like me, that kind of monotony is very important. So imagine coming into work and you have a stack of magazines instead, and you have to identify which client gets which newspapers and assemble a correct bundle for each individual person, referencing from a list. The massive change in your normal routine, and it's going to shake you up, slow you down, and make you use a lot more of your mental processes than you normally would. So that basically happened to me this week, and while I handled it pretty well, I would say, that happened on Monday and Tuesday, and by the end of Tuesday it felt like the entire week had already gone by and I still had 2 work days to go through. And I came home on Tuesday evening, I took a nap, and pretty much like by the time I actually fell asleep, it felt to me like I had slept for 8 hours because my mind had shut off so hard that it just, you know, I was completely out of it. And after that nap I felt great, but under normal circumstances I probably wouldn't have taken that nap, and I actually was starting to resist the idea of taking it. And if I had, that probably would have ruined the rest of the week for me, because I needed to just reset. I needed to stop and disconnect that change in my routine from the rest of my week. And I don't like having to do that. I acknowledge that it is a part of me, that it is something I need to do. but it's a part of me that I'm not really used to indulging in. And I know that if I take the time and make it into something regular, it will lead to a healthier life. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But I don't know, it's such a dramatic change in acknowledging something that is fundamentally different in yourself that you should embrace when all you want is to not have to do that at all, to be a normal individual. Like, I have to acknowledge that being a normal individual is not something that I can be. I have to do this in order to function at a healthy level for me. And it's a weird thought. Um, and it's not one that I thought I would ever have to encounter, but it is the truth. I was going to say unfortunately, but fortunately, like, it is a good thing. But I'm struggling with it right now. Like, I don't know. That's really all I got on that, and it's a tough thing. I'm working on it, but I think ultimately that is the important part of me identifying all these things that I struggle with, and what anyone can learn by identifying their points of struggle. That there are things that you can do to improve your life, but what you need to do may be a disconnect or have some dissonance from what you think is normal and what you need to do. I really would like to lead a normal life where I don't have to shut myself down and withdraw, but I do recognize that what I am capable of doing when I'm functioning well is worth it. And it will be even more worth it if I can find a way to work with this. Why did I do that? I keep wanting to hold right click as a way to bring up aim, but that's not how it does. Can I shoot him out of the air? No, I know you can shoot him out of the air with pods really easily. It's really just flinching him. Actually aim. Fucking idiot. There's one. I need some more. Some more of that. Hit this boy. Oh, that's close. Another pod somewhere. Probably just not seeing it, and it'll be landing soon anyway. And he's gonna do another dash. Probably won't hit him because of that rock and the distance. Yeah. That's fine. Anyway, this hunt probably is actually already almost over, given the amount of damage I do. Even though I'm playing extremely sloppily. I actually haven't messed with Xeno'Jiiva in a long time because Iceborne content just makes everything in low and high rank a joke. I actually went back and finished all of the optional low and high rank quests to unlock a bunch of stuff that I just never bothered to unlock when I was trying to get to Iceborne. And I did the entire thing with a Charge Blade, which I had never used before. And I actually really enjoy Charge Blade now. It was kind of a fun experience. Oh boy. Okay, good. Thank you for roaring, because I was right-clicking again, so I was just gonna arrow range for some stupid reason. Oh good, now he's gonna be weak to my shots again. And knocked down. Perfect! Good job, Switchaboo. My aquascaping project is going well. Unfortunately, the biological filter in my axolotl tank collapsed, and he got sick for a little bit, but he's doing better now, and the tank should be cycling again. So, that heartache is out of the way. I think I just actually wasted a shot, so this may not be a critical draw. Oh, it was still critical-ish. There we go. Oh, that's gotta be a beautiful one. Nice. And draw again. I think I'm just gonna do this one hunt and call the video done. Because that one thing I wanted to talk about, really, like, it's just a heavy hitter in terms of context. It's a very big deal, and I think it's a lesson that everyone needs to learn, to just kind of accept what their limitations are and what their strengths are. And I'm starting to realize that my limitations are a little more strict than most, but my strengths also, in turn, are pretty damn good. So it's important for me, if I want to embrace those, that I embrace my weaknesses just as strongly. Just like this guy. His weakness is that he is premature. Like, Xeno'Jiiva is the malted adult version, and this is just basically a baby. We're killing a baby. We're performing a Monster Hunter World abortion. Shot across the wings. We did a lot of good damage to the face. What are you gonna do? Laser? I think that should be close enough. Oh boy. Well. Let's throw this on just for the hell of it. Oh, good timing. Not that it would have done much. Divine Blessing is just so fantastic. I really can't wait until I can hunt Golden Rathian, because she has a 2-set bonus that raises the cap of Divine Blessing to 5 instead of 3, and reduces the damage you take significantly more, and has a pretty good activation chain. There's a couple different builds I want to do with that. There we go. But yeah, I'm also working on stretching and making a Zenogre heavy bowgun for just spamming shotgun builds, because it'll just make hunting and farming so much easier in guided lanes. But yeah, this has been Nomad Nobody, all that fun shit. Hopefully the audio and syncing and all that works out well. What did I get? A Xeno'Jiiva gem. And I'm going to stick around until the Quest for Rewards page comes up, so another 30 seconds-ish at the most. Switch Boo. He's so cute. Little Wiggler head. I should have worn my Wiggler head. I realized my mistake. I am a failure. Let me bomb myself. Nope. Alrighty. Quest complete. Yeah, 14 minutes. I was slacking and lazy and sloppy, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, I'll see you guys around. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, if you need to talk about anything, reach out. I'm around. And clearly, I've got a lot to work on myself, so peace. Love y'all. Bye.